Hi, this is Suzanne Ortis Curry coming to you from the Ridgewood Guild International Film Festival. Today we're speaking with the star of not just one, but two of the films selected for our festival.
Hi.
We have Annapurna Sriram is in Case of Blue. She plays Amelia. That's our narrative feature. And she's also in a short, a web new media called Coup, which is absolutely hysterical. So we're going to talk to Annapurna right now, and let's talk the narrative feature first. Let's talk Case of
Yeah.
um, and truth be told, I'm a producer on Case of Blue, so I'm very familiar with the project. And Annapurna, I last remember seeing you on set in a very shiny gold jumpsuit when it was really hot outside.
Yeah. That one also feels like a million years ago.
I know. So tell me, you play the part of Amelia. Tell me how you got that part. And it's a female with a surrounded by a lot of males. Tell me what you did to really add the character, develop her within the script.
Yeah, I auditioned for that part. That just feels, with pandemic time also just feels even more strange, but that was um, a few summers ago, I would say we shot that. And it was like a simple, I got an audition through my agents and my manager. At the time I wasn't, working a lot. So I felt like anything I could get my hands on, I had to get my hands on. Even if like it wasn't necessarily everything wasn't perfect. It was like, I just have to be working. And so I was really lucky to get cast in the film. The character was very much, falling into a lot of the sort of manic pixie dream girl. She's an artist, she's sexual, she's seductive. I feel like on first reading it, there were some missing pieces of making this woman, feel like someone who I could, relate to.
Mhm.
And so, I did a lot of advocating with the writer director about, what it is to be a female artist, what it means to be someone who is fetishized or, sort of idolized or as a muse, to a lot of the men around her. And it took some convincing. It took a lot of advocating. And I think in a way that's very much part of who that character is as well. That, the man who was behind the camera wasn't necessarily initially receptive to what I was saying about Amelia. And like Amelia, I just kind of kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it until I think the really kind of beautiful thing that happened on that set, which was kind of shocking to me because I'd never witnessed it, was that because I was so vocal, with every scene we would film, I was always confronting him with, this is how we can give her depth. This is how we can make her a serious artist. This is how we can make her, more than just the sex symbol of the movie. And enough of the other women in production and on set began to hear what I was saying, that I think they were the ones who eventually kind of had a meeting with the writer director. And they were like, almost had like a intervention of like, you need to do this. We are all coming together as this group of women working on this movie, and the female in this movie, we want her to represent us. And so I think it was kind of this, I don't even think that's ever happened. I've never heard of something like that happening before, but I think once that meeting happened, he was much more like, okay, like this is a collaboration. Like, let's figure out a way to make her more than just the sort of two-dimensional seductress of the movie, and really make her complex and have her own agenda and have her own, you know, mind and, you know, all the things that, you know, we as women have.
And, you know, there were a lot of females involved in the production and in the movie, and I don't want to give away any spoilers.
Yeah.
You play an artsy person from New York City, which is kind of what you are.
Yeah.
And I think you gave the character, I mean, every script is a collaboration, and I think you really brought a lot of depth to the character and made her very real. I want to talk about some of the places that you filmed. I mean, there were some
Yeah.
places in the
Yeah.
movie that were used.
Washington Square Park, Central Park, that little strip in the West Village. There were these very quintessential like jazz clubs, and I'm totally
I think it
blanking.
was Cafe Wa.
Cafe Wa, yeah, these iconic art, you know, communal like art sort of hubs, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that in a way, because the writer director comes from a different era, it was really this like meeting of two worlds, which was, you know, yeah, in the 70s or the 60s, maybe this is how women were, but you're also now bringing in someone from, you know, it was like 2018 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Overall, and even the way Dana Glazer, the writer director, shot it, it's a marriage of the old and the new.
Yeah.
And the movie's done very well. It's, you know, it's winning awards at film festivals, and it's just beautifully shot. And the costuming that you wear also,
yeah, Maxine killed it. She was such a good, I mean, I think that, well, that was also so incredible is the DP, the costume designer, so many of the department heads were very young, but incredibly like technically savvy and like just pro at what they did. And I think that it was like really incredible to see so many young people shine in the production aspect of it. That, yeah, it was very much this marrying of two eras.
Yes.
And like most marriages, there's a little bit of uncomfortability when there's the compromise happening. And that, you know, eventually I think the compromise, I think, served the overall film. Yeah, without any spoilers.
Well, it's a very good film.
Yeah.
You know, it can be viewed a lot of different ways, and you really need to watch it to the end. And I would even tell people watch it a second time because you'll catch things you didn't the first time. So that's your first film here. So we I didn't realize someone said, "Oh, Annapurna's in another film," and this one is called Two.
Yeah,
it looks like it was shot as a web series, and then maybe is that how it started?
Yeah, I guess it's shot. I mean, I had never done something. I don't know how many episodes are screening in the Ridgewood Guild Film Festival. I believe there are 8 or 9 total, but they're 2-minute, 3-minute length episodes.
Right.
Which I had never done something like that. I'd also never read scripts that moved that quickly. And that, I mean, the two creators of Coup, Brian and Matt, I think just found me through a casting director, and we like met up and had coffee. And I just thought the script was so funny. The character who plays my brother in Coup is Satya, who had actually or knew already. We'd done a number of readings together, and we both were just like so excited to play these characters in this sort of, you know, these like kooky fascist dictator characters in an Arrested Development-esque world of, you know, like
too close to reality.
Yeah. And so I think that the humor that Matt and Brian had, and how like we shot it all in an apartment in 5 or 6 days. And then we did a little bit of stuff like around Brooklyn in a park or in a street corner, but it was very much self-contained in this one apartment. And it was really fun. I mean, it was so easy. It was such an easy shoot. It was so fun. There was so much play involved in it. I mean, it's a comedy, and there's a lot of physical comedy.
Yes.
And so anywhere that we could find a joke or mine a moment, they were super open for it, or, you know, we were able to explore a lot.
Well,
Um,
it kept me on the edge of my seat. It was like funky, it was kooky, it was funny. The
yeah,
music was perfect. It
so good.
was like
Yeah.
a 60s, I don't know, 60s like crime kind of
Yeah,
crime
yeah.
thing.
And the way they do the graphics in it, I mean, it's a
Yes.
very fun. I just think of it as like the next. It could be, I think that their goal is to, have interest in it, and then really flesh it out and develop it into like a proper, episodic or comedy sort of 15-20 minute episode length project. And I really think that if they lean into that sort of arrested development kind of structure, it would really make such a funny show.
I think it would too, because it's unusual and it's new and it's fast paced.
Yeah.
I really liked it a lot.
Yeah. It's like a family drama comedy, but the family is like a fascist dictatorship from a made up country. so,
Well,
so they're like,
it was just
yeah,
glorious. What can I say?
yeah.
So, Annapurna, now I just want to get back to something about you. You're a very busy lady. I watched you in Feral, which you got a great review in the New York Times for your portrayal of a homeless person.
Yeah.
And I would tell
A lot of character, a lot of different.
but that movie, I would recommend for anyone to see that movie. I mean, I really believe you were incredible in this. It was a very hard part to play. And the way your looks changes and how you kind of like were able to adapt to whatever situation you came in. Again, another deep film that you did.
Yeah. I mean, Feral was very much a verite experience. And I think it was really shot we had like a 4-person crew, including our director, who was the DP. And it was very much like existing in a role in real life, as a unhoused person in the streets of New York, or a lot of it was shot in the tunnels of the Freedom Tunnels under the Upper West Side.
Really?
So yeah, so a lot of it was very guerrilla.
Wow.
It was guerrilla to the max. but then living as a person in that circumstance and looking the way I looked, and it was so different than how I looked that people on the street really treated me differently.
Wow.
And I just had to live in it. And so it was a very immersive role. And yeah, I mean,
Well, once again,
yeah.
it's another role that you really made your own. So
Yeah, I mean, these roles that I get the opportunity to do are why I do this, getting to just completely transform and be something, completely different than who I am.
which is what being an actor is all about. And I look forward to seeing you in many other roles. I'm sure they're coming your way. I just, to end this interview, I just want to find out something about the movies that you like to watch. Can you give me your top 5 movies?
Okay. I made a list because I read the questions and I was like, oh my gosh, the top 5 movies. This is a tough one. Okay. My favorite films are, and they all, these are like also usually my favorite movies have an incredible sort of central female actor. I've noticed my trend.
Mhm.
Scarlet Diva by Asia Argento, Coal Miner's Daughter, one of my favorite movies. Breaking the Waves is one of probably the only Lars von Trier film that I love. It's one of my favorite films. Nights of Siberia, which is a Fellini movie, and she's Juliana Messina is just like, goals. And I would say maybe like Crybaby or Female Trouble, like a John Waters, like an old John Waters, like campy movie. But those would be my like top 5 if I had to pick.
Okay. And one last question. What are you binging on? What are you binging on these days?
What I'm binging on, way less exciting. I love reality TV.
Oh. one?
I love 90 Day Fiance. And
Big Ed has a new show, you know.
who?
Big Ed is in a new
Oh,
show.
he has his own one. Yeah, I for whatever reason, the past couple weeks, I was trying to think what I'm actually watching on TV, and I love, for whatever reason, I like really love watching reality TV. I think because it's so low stakes and it's low attention span needed. And I think also, you know, being an actor and reading a lot of scripts and auditioning a lot, sometimes I almost need a break from that world of things. And so, yeah, reality TV, HGTV, TLC, you know, anything that's easy and you know,
It's like wine. That's how I feel. It's like wine.
it's like wine.
It's like
Yes.
wine. And we need more
Yeah.
than ever during this pandemic.
Yeah. And also, you know, yeah, sometimes a lot of the series are really heavy. And I do definitely need something a little bit less, you know, heavy stakes or, yeah. Yeah.
So thank you very much,
Thank you
Annapurna.
so much.
Great talking to you.
Yeah.
And
I'm so
everyone,
excited.
is there any website or something that people, if they're interested in
You know, I have a website, it's my name, but I haven't updated it in a long time. So I really don't think it's worth anyone's time.
How about social?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. That's it.
Okay.
And yeah, but mostly I would just recommend that people watch the films in this festival or Feral, rather than my social media.
All right. Well,
I'm a bit old school. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Annapurna.
Nice to chat with you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.